So how's the reflection been for you from the first loss of the season on Saturday?
Yeah, it's always tough to lose a game. Look, I think we'll have a good look at it today, meetings, and reassess where we are. But look, I think you learn more from your losses, so it's something we were able to touch on some things that we could probably potentially do better, and it's part of the game, and we're looking forward to the next one.
How disappointing was the team as a whole straight after the full-time whistle?
Oh, massively so. Yeah, we obviously want to win every single game possible. It wasn't to be. We probably let ourselves down in a few areas, but look, it's the beauty of football is we get another game on Monday, and we're focused on that, and we'll try and improve ourselves in certain areas to hopefully come out with the win.
We just talked to Alex about the long turnaround. How do you go about things differently during your average week where you do have a little bit more time between games?
I think it suits me at the moment. I've come off quite a few games, so have a little bit of a longer turnaround is probably good for the body. But it's one of those things that after a loss you're pretty keen to get straight back on the horse and try and recorrect the wrongs probably potentially that we had in the last game. So yeah, again, good in some ways and bad in others, but yeah, it gives us more time to actually work on some of the things throughout the week, so it's probably going to be a good thing for us.
Yeah, I was going to ask, how did the body sort of pull through big minutes up in Europe, and then straight back into things here? Are you sort of coping all right fitness-wise?
Yeah, it's definitely a difficult one coming off a 30-hour flight and playing the next day. I think as much physical as mental side of it, so it's been a challenge last two games, but I think I'm back to 100% now, and it was pleasing to get through those games injury-free, and just massively disappointing for the team that we didn't pick up the 3 points on the weekend.
And just in terms of the All Whites experience, what can you get from a couple of games away on international duties and bring back to a campaign like this early on?
Yeah, well, you get to play top European competition, which was fantastic, and test ourselves against them. I think that only, as a player, you want to be playing against the best, and so, being in that environment, the All Whites environment with a lot of good players who are all applying their trade overseas, which is fantastic to see. It raises your level, and obviously the opponents you play against, you have to raise your level for that as well. So coming back from that environment, I like to think that I bring a little bit of that level back up into training and games and things like that. So hope to say it's a positive thing. Was
it pleasing to see Finn and Alex also make the step up to that level as well?
Yeah, of course. I think seeing any young Kiwis be included in that All-White squad, or seeing young Kiwis play for the Phoenix is a fantastic thing for football in this country. So yeah, massively pleasing. They just totally deserved to be there. Which was fantastic. Unfortunately, Alex didn't get any minutes, but I'm sure those are right around the corner.
It's a few familiar names in the MacArthur lineup for Monday night. Any particular matchup or opponent you're looking forward to facing off against?
I wouldn't say looking forward to. They're both Clayton and Nully are both top quality players. We've seen it firsthand here, so they're running high. They're going really well at the moment. So yeah, it's going to be a tough test for us.
What do you think they bring to MacArthur? You've obviously seen them. What are their biggest strengths?
Yeah, I mean, they both speak for themselves really. Ollie's a fantastic player, arguably one of the best in the league. So, he can change a game when he likes to. He's got that quality to win them football matches, which has probably been evident so far in the start of the season. And having someone like Clay sitting in behind him probably allows Ollie to do more of his stuff. So, Clay's passing game is fantastic. So it's something that we probably have to be aware of. Both those players, they're both top quality players in that team.
7 games into the new season, obviously, a lot of changes in the off-season. What's been the biggest difference as a player, sort of with a new coaching setup, whole new group of players in here as well?
There was definitely been a lot of young players this year, which is fantastic to see. The system's altered slightly. There's probably a little bit more freedom in regards to how we go about it with the ball. So that's been quite enjoyable, especially for myself. And defensive structures are a little bit different. We press with a 3 in midfield and 3 up top. So I think it's just a bit of fresh ideas. Some of the principles stay the same, but that's been fantastic for the squad. And then I think our defending in the box, apart from the weekend, has been fantastic, and how we're set up in that regard has been very different to previous seasons. So I think that's really working. But it's one of those things that we have to keep working at to become better. And there's some of the positives from that we need to continually improve, because obviously we're not the finished product and we don't want to be right now, but it would be nice to make less mistakes like we did on the weekend.
Because obviously just slipping slightly down the ladder, still obviously third. Do you take much notice as to where you are in the pecking order this early in the season?
No, not at all. It's a bit of a cliche, but it's always one of those things that I think if the performance is there and you're worrying about that next week, that next game, that's all that matters. And then you see where you sit at the end of the season. I don't think it's very good to keep looking at the table and get carried away, because, as I said, it's only 7 games in a long season, so we can't get ahead of ourselves. It's just worrying about the next game, next opponent, trying to be better than we were last week.
Cool. And I asked Alex before as well, 7 games in, how do you assess your performances so far?
Yeah, it's been going okay, up until obviously the weekend. It's one of those things that, it doesn't really matter how well you're doing. You want to be winning football games as a team, so that's how I judge it on. Voice keeps breaking. That's how I judge it on. So yeah, it was disappointing on the weekend. I think we can all do a lot better to get those 3 points.
Has it helped you being able to focus on one position all pre-season and just knowing you're the right fullback?
Yeah, I think massively so. I think I've mentioned it before. Having the minutes and the legs, the fitness aspect has been massively positive for me, and it's nice to know that it's going to be playing fullback and that's where I'm going to be playing. I think it's definitely helped me.
What kind of stats are you doing in a usual game compared to what you do at centre back?
It depends. The total distance probably not a whole lot more, okay. But the high speed meters, I think over the weekend I did over 1,000. But yeah, at centre back it depends. If we're playing well, you're probably not doing a whole lot, and if you're not playing well and the game's open, you're doing a little bit more. But yeah, it's a significant increase.
And you talked about the fresh ideas that have come in this season. Did you think you needed that as well? You've been here for a long time. For you as a senior player, some fresh thinking and fresh ideas coming in?
Yeah, it's an interesting one because you often have a lot of new players coming in also. And so they probably haven't played the system that we were playing. But yeah, I guess when you look at the results, it's probably been a good thing for the squad. Having a little bit of a freshen up and different coach and things like that's probably given everyone a little bit of an extra boost, and people wanting to impress the new coach and people are coming in. So yeah, I think it's been positive.